Something like
that. What's up, folks? Welcome to normally the Heroes World podcast, but the Sidekick Show is subbing in for this week. I'm at Stu's place, the estate, and he's nowhere to be found. So we'll have to find out an update on him soon.
Well, and I didn't get a phone call to go play golf, so something fishy is going on. It could be possible. This whole Vanis thing is really Stu.
Yeah, it's alter ego. He's the Batman. He's the mask. What is
Pokeroo.
it? Yeah, Pokeroo.
He's Pokeroo.
I decided to show up and find out what the deal with this Vanis stuff is, and he is nowhere to be found. So maybe he's here somewhere. Maybe he'll pop in. Anyways, folks, we're going to talk a little bit about Obi-Wan. We don't want to go too deep, but we did wrap up the season. We wanted to get your thoughts on it, so definitely let us know in the comments. And we're going to give you our overall thoughts on the season, what we kind of liked about it or didn't like about it. And then we're going to talk about what's coming up this weekend, kind of throw a little bit of like a hype meter, or what are you going to watch, and kind of like update maybe you didn't know it was coming out. So Rob, Obi-Wan Kenobi, 6-issue limited series, Star Wars stuff. Yeah, episodes. A lot of people already raving about season 2. You can check on the internet. It's kind of all over the place. Generally, people are pretty happy with this finale. Rob, I know you were saying that you are more interested in Star Wars when they drop the movies. You're kind of like, in the space in your head is kind of like, I like Star Wars when it's a really big deal. It's a really big thing that comes out in the movie theaters. How did you feel overall about this Obi-Wan series concluding just this week?
Yeah, so let me just preface this by saying I thought episodes 5 and 6 were the best of the 6 episodes. But as an overall series, my son said to me while we were watching episode 6, and there's a battle between Vader and Obi-Wan Kenobi, which was set up. We already know. Okay, fine.
Yeah. We'll keep it light. We'll keep it light in the spoilers.
Yeah. We're not going to go. Yeah, but there is a lightsaber battle, and my son looks to me and he says, "This is cool and all, but we know nothing serious happens to them because we know what happens later." And I said, "You're right."
That is the problem with anything that's a prequel, or you start sliding it in between things. The consequences aren't super high stakes, right?
Right. And so, to be very honest with you guys, and maybe I'll catch some flack in the comments about this. Overall, I enjoyed this series, but I do question, what was the point? What is the purpose of this?
What is the point of anything in life, though, Rob, other than to, I guess, just entertain? I think it's just to entertain, and maybe you didn't see, it's not building up to some big thing that's coming out, right? So it's kind of...
Yeah. I kind of felt, though, that it was doing something, it was purposefully utilizing these characters just to gain eyeballs to the service. To me, I was like, what is its purpose and point? Other than bringing in subscribers.
Yeah.
Because it didn't move the ball any. I didn't learn any more about Obi-Wan Kenobi. I didn't learn anything more about Darth Vader than I needed to. I don't care. What was the overall point of this show and its existence? And I also think secondary to that, John, is that, we had the Boba Fett series, and I think I kind of said the same, what was the point of this? And I started to wonder, these existing characters that we're getting these TV shows about from the movies, do we really need them? That's why I think The Mandalorian works, because it was a fresh slate. We didn't really know about it. It was a brand new character as far as I knew. And I know that the Ahsoka series is shooting right now. And I know a lot of people love Ahsoka from Clone Wars or Rebels or whatever it was.
Yep.
I never watched any of those. I have no interest in watching those. I'm looking forward to that series because for me, it's a new character.
Yeah, she was actually a character that was kind of disliked upon her first introduction. She was kind of like the kid element, and a lot of people actually didn't like her. And then they grew into a character that people really like. But I think to your point, Rob, it for us, I think maybe we feel that way. But for other people, I guess it's just more of these characters to enjoy. Does it necessarily have to become the next big thing? No, maybe it's just something fun to watch. I feel like for this particular series, they explored the relationship between Vader and Obi-Wan a little bit, and maybe then they don't quite crack that book open as far as we would like, but they were within the confines of a 6-episode limited series. So you're happy that you watched it, or you think you might wait on future series and just kind of watch when it's all wrapped or something like that?
Yeah, I don't know if going forward this is appointment viewing for me. Like I listen, I enjoyed the time I spent each week with my son, watching it. So as a dad, that was cool. Production wise, it looked great. It looked fantastic. We did see in episode 4, I think, we saw a flashback of Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin, which takes place around the Clone Wars saga time, I think. And I gotta say, Hayden Christensen doesn't look like he ages very much. And so that was pretty cool to see that stuff. But yeah, I don't know, man. To go back to your question, will I watch it? Yeah, I guess I probably will. But I really like, and I think you summarized my view on Star Wars at the beginning of this, is that I really like this. I like going to the theater. I like watching on the big screen. I like that 2.5 hour extravaganza, popcorn fest, and then that's it. I don't know if I really need all of this periphery of things. It's just not my bag. But it's not a bad show. It's just it's kind of like eating cotton candy. It gives you a little bit of like sugary goodness, but then it's like, but it's gone. And what did I just spend $6 at the carnival for? And John's arm. Is he looking for? He might be looking for. And John's muted.
Sorry, I just had to make sure my daughter was getting to class. I think for some of us, we do want the big spectacle, but I do understand some people like how I kind of like I always chase the newest thing. If you're a Star Wars fan or some type of fan, you might just want to see whatever the newest thing is. You don't want to go back and watch the old stuff. You want to see whatever is new coming out. Overall, my thoughts on the series. Like you said, I agree with Rob. Those last 2 episodes, I think those were definitely better pieces than the front half. But there is some setup there that does have to be achieved. I did really like seeing Hayden Christensen back, which I think you mentioned is episode 5, I think, right before the finale. Right, you kind of get to see them. It's actually a very short time that you get with them, so I kind of question why they didn't want to expand on that. But I do want to give a shout out to my favorite character of the whole series. Rest in peace, Loader Droid. So Loader Droid, my favorite guy in this entire series, the best thing to come out of it. He went out like a boss, sacrificed himself, and he was actually just a cool character. He was one of my favorite characters in the series. So if you guys dug Obi-Wan, let us know. If you didn't, let us know. We're interested to hear. Are you going to be rewatching it? Like how's the rewatchability on this? I don't know.
There is one thing, and this is not. Listen, this is not spoilers, but this is the one thing I guess, because when you're dealing with a prequel series, you have a pre-existing canon that you have to address, and we all kind of were wondering at the beginning of this series. Well, wait a minute, how does Princess Leia, like, even though she's 10 years old, which I gotta say, John, that's the youngest looking 10-year-old I've ever seen. I said this when we did a review of episode 1. But she's not supposed to remember who Obi-Wan Kenobi is when she gets older, which is only in when she needs him in A New Hope. It's only 10 years after this, right? I was wondering how they don't really address that aspect of, she knows who Obi-Wan Kenobi is. So for me, I'm like, there's glaring plot hole here that might be addressed in a season 2 if they decide to go forward for a season 2, but I don't know, man. It just, I don't get it. I feel like that was the one thing. I know it sounds like I'm being petty, but it was the one thing I was really hoping that they would tie up, and they didn't.
That amongst all the things that went on, I would say there was some other story elements that you could call, lazy writing and kind of just ways to connect A to B really quickly. But I cut it a little slack because it is TV and it's not a movie. So I think maybe we're judging a little harshly because we're used to just only Star Wars movies. So this is a different animal. So I don't want to rain on anybody's parade because I do see some people really like it online. So I think that's awesome. And maybe we'll have to look into how we kind of dive into this type of content if we're not feeling it as much as some of the other people are, or maybe
we're outside, I think, of the target demo. That's also the other thing too.
Yeah, right. It might be. Yeah, it might be. But yeah, shout outs to all the performers. I think I don't think there's anyone that I would say I would not want to see more content for. So, so I think that's something you probably do want to see some of these other characters continue and see where they might go. So, no, Rob doesn't, but I think I don't mind seeing some if they're going to do some other content for some of these other characters. But I do hope for something more. So I'm hoping for a little bit. My expectations are a little bit high for the Ahsoka show. This one I kind of wasn't super hyped for when it was coming out. Obi-Wan is not my guy. If they were doing a Luke Skywalker show, I would definitely be more
what is it gonna be? Six episodes of him trying to get into town to buy power converters? Like, get out of here.
Yes, day-to-day life of the last hope or a new hope. What he had to do all the day on the farm.
No, it's him going to school and learning, and it's like Smallville for Star Wars. That's what you want. Want Smallville for Star Wars.
Spin-off of Star Wars.
Right, where he's sitting there and he, things happen. He doesn't understand why things are moving with his mind. But next up for the Star Wars stuff is season 3 of Mandalorian, and that I believe is this December. So I guess we both kind of really enjoy Mandalorian, so I guess we'll see how that pans out.
It's definitely more in a genre that I like, the whole Western kind of style theme. They really hit that kind of nail on the head for me. So that's why I do enjoy the Mandalorian stuff better. So we'll see how that goes and see if we're maybe just curmudgeon, get off my lawn old men about this stuff or whatever. Right? Maybe we just don't get it.
My lightsaber.
Get your lightsaber out of your mouth or whatever. Actually, no, that sounds too dirty. Straight that from the record.
Okay.
Anyways, Rob, let's wrap up Obi-Wan. So thanks for chatting about Obi-Wan, Rob. We'll leave the door open so we won't go super deep diving into it, and we'd like to maybe get Stu's thoughts on this because he was a lot more hyped for this series.
Hey, wait, what would you give? What would you give this series as a whole, John? We might as well do that.
Oh, series whole out of 10. I'm gonna have to give it a 7. I'm sorry if you guys really liked it. 7 borderline, drop down to 6, but I think the last 2 episodes really help bring it up. Rob?
Yeah, I would give it a 7.5 only because I did enjoy episode 1 and I did really enjoy 5 and 6. So as a whole, as a series, I'm giving it a 75%, 7.5. But
7.5. Okay, that's higher. That's actually higher than I thought you were going to give it. Anyways, so let's move on from Obi-Wan, folks, and we're going to talk a little bit about what's coming up this week. So if you guys are hyped for stuff coming up this week, Rob, should I just throw up some pictures? I've got some pictures of some stuff that's dropping, and we'll talk a little bit about it, and then we'll wrap it up. So thank you for watching this.
Are these safe for work photos, John, or did you upload the wrong album?
No, this is a whole bunch of lightsabers. But anyways, let's
go. Oh, no!
Anyways, so one of the big things that dropped this week, Umbrella Academy Season 3. Rob, you are all caught up, Seasons 1, 2. Have you dived into any of Season 3 yet? I think it's been out for a hot day so far.
It has, yeah. So it dropped yesterday. We're recording this on Thursday. So no, I haven't watched this yet. My son and I actually had this conversation because he wants to watch it. So I think we're going to try to fire it up maybe this weekend. You know what though, John? He's a busy guy. He has more of a social life than I do. We might have to diverge and I'll have to watch this. But
he should. He is a younger child, so he should have a bump in social life.
Yeah. My social life is my couch. So I'm really looking forward to firing this up in the next couple of days. I'm stoked. I've heard some really good things about it. How about you? I know we got our friend of the show and of the shop, Scott. He's watched the first 3 episodes as of this afternoon, and he said he's really enjoying it. So I'm excited for it. What about you, John?
Yeah. So I tanked through Season 1. I thought we were going to do like some content, and I really got hooked on it. And for some reason, I just happened to have a bunch of time to watch all those episodes. Really actually overall enjoyed it. I watched part of Season 2 and, just life or whatever got in the way, and I never ended up finishing it. But I did fire up episode 1 of Season 3, which has a handy recap. So if you've either forgotten what's going on or you want to hit the ground running and see what's going on and be able to discuss with your friends and all that kind of stuff, they have a handy dandy recap. Cool. So I did fire that up. And this show, it's something about it, the way they use the music, the nice kind of clean kind of camera, like I don't know if you'd call it cinematography or just the camera work that they do, how everything looks kind of nice, bright, and kind of clean. It's just kind of like it feels fresh. I don't know if
though it's filmed in Hamilton, Ontario, it still feels fresh.
Yeah, no, it feels kind of like fresh and new and kind of like I don't know what you would call it. It's almost like, you know how they used to use all those soft filters on a lot of the teen shows and stuff like
Yeah.
that. I feel like they're using this, but the content is not exactly the same as, like, you know, Vampire Diaries or whatever the hell it was, or Riverdale or whatever. So I do look forward to watching this, and I do love their integration of music. It seems like they try to really, really drop the music in there. I guess that maybe is influence of Gerard Way, who I think created the storyline or the overall concept and is a musician. So I assume that's why you get this kind of different vibe from it. So yeah, you're gonna try and tank the whole season in once.
Yeah, I think. Well, I think so. If my son and I decide we're gonna watch it together, then to be honest with you, you know, we'll probably watch it over the next few days, like the next week or so.
Mhm.
You know, a couple episodes at a time. You know, listen. If he was already out of school, it'd be a lot easier. We could plow through a few episodes a night, but we'll see. If not, then I want to have it done within the next, you know, within the next week. Let's put it.
Yeah, right around the corner. And Boys, I forgot to grab a picture for Boys, but Boys is still trucking. I think they dropped a bunch of episodes, and they're doing a weekly episode each week. I don't think either of us has kind of started that one yet.
I like waiting for that one to be done. Although I've heard that apparently they're taking a stop for maybe they're pausing for a week or 2 weeks. I don't know. So if that's the case, I might then just decide to get caught up. We'll see.
Yeah, I do want to shout out Miss Marvel. Miss Marvel is still going. A new show that debuted every Wednesday. New episodes kind of got overshadowed by Obi-Wan, so definitely do check out the show. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Iman has been so kind to mention this in a bunch of different interviews, which is really sweet of her. But she is killing this role. She's like killing it. Very charming. All the interviews see her in, you definitely want to see more of her. So I do want to shout that show out and make sure you guys are watching Miss Marvel.
Did you watch yesterday's episode?
I haven't yet. I kind of try to watch it while my daughter's around so she can kind of like catch a little bit of it. She's not quite, she's a little bit young for this stuff, so she's not quite into it, but I kind of like the idea of it being kind of around when maybe it'll kind of catch her, because it would be her introduction into the MCU. So she's not really into it. So we'll see.
Well, I won't. It was very good. I won't spoil anything, John, but it turns out it was all a dream. She's living in Florida.
Get out of town. That's totally not what happens. Shout outs to Beavis and Butthead. Apparently just started on Paramount Plus. Rob, you gonna be watching this all weekend?
I'll never forget. Mike Judd went on David Letterman many years ago, creator of Beavis and Butthead, and Letterman said, you know, I'm paraphrasing, like, how you just, you know, create a show about two like idiots who sit on the couch and do nothing. Like, how come you're so rich off this? And he goes, because I did it first. Like, he goes, anybody could have done it.
I was first.
I did it first. And he was like, Letterman fucked. So that's my Beavis impression. Yeah, I'm actually, I watched Beavis and Butthead Do America a handful of times. It's been so many years since I've seen it, but I am pretty stoked to watch this. So I'm probably going to do a marathon of Beavis and Butthead Do America and then the new one. But it did just drop on Paramount Plus. Yeah. So I'm pretty excited to watch that. Are you going to watch it?
I don't think so. I think I'm going to pass on this. I tried to get into it back in the day and it just wasn't for me.
Right.
I think I watched a handful of episodes, but it's not the place that I'm in right now. So maybe I'll have to
You mean stews?
yeah. This place is too fancy. But I do like, you know, like the Rick and Morty kind of like off the wall type stuff. So maybe it'll come across my desk at some point. But right now it's not on my list for this weekend, especially.
Oh, come on, man.
Yeah, opening in theaters, Elvis. With Tom Hanks and Austin Butler. Butler's doing a nice kind of interview circuit or kind of like a promotion right now, and he seems hella charming, and some of the voices he's doing for Elvis seem crazy. Rob, I think you had considered going to see this in theaters. Are you going to go this weekend?
I might try to go this weekend. If it doesn't work out for me this weekend, I got some free time coming up in the next couple of weeks, so I'll probably go see it. I might even fly solo to see it. I asked my wife; she has zero interest in watching it. I asked my son, and he was like, "How about Top Gun again?" And I was like, okay. But if I don't go this weekend, I'm definitely going to be going within the next couple of weeks. I do want to see it. Listen, I'm not a huge Elvis fan. Obviously, people of our age, John, know who Elvis is. We know all the music. We were, as growing up as young kids, we were inundated with all that bullshit and all those infomercials in between TV shows, the Elvis commemorative plates and
the plates
and stuff. So we're very much aware, and I have zero interest in owning any of his music. But that being said, this movie looks fantastic, and it looks really appealing on a general level. So I'm really stoked to go and check this movie out.
Yeah, I'm definitely an Elvis fan. I've got a bunch of stuff. Yeah, I love a lot of his music. So
Get the hell out of here.
he has a station on. If you ever subscribe to Sirius XM radio, there's an Elvis station that just plays nonstop Elvis. Of course, they go into some of the deeper cuts, some of the live stuff. And my wife does kind of like this old school music, so a little bit more into it than probably I should be. I think I'm gonna wait for her to watch this. She doesn't like to go to theater for anything, so I'll probably wait. I'll probably wait on this one. I do like what was the Lady Gaga Bradley Cooper movie? It was
Star is Born.
A Star is Born. Yeah, so movies like that. Ray, I really like Jamie Foxx's Ray.
Rocket Man. Have you seen Rocket Man? The one
I have not seen Rocket Man.
It's actually really good.
Yeah, okay. I'll have to add that to the list.
Same with Bohemian Rhapsody on.
Bohemian Rhapsody, Walk the Line, all these types of musics that explore these characters, even stuff like Dreamgirls and all that stuff. I do get into it, so I think this is one I do want to see. Also opening in theaters, Ethan Hawke's The Black Foe. It just says Foe here, but it's the Black Phone Booth.
If you're going for Foe,
yeah,
and it's black, don't eat it. It's bad.
No, you never know. They have some weird cuts there, like kind of like dark, like different colored noodles and stuff. Anyways,
okay.
But this is your jam, Rob. I saw an advertisement online, and it says in theaters only. So they made a big point of this is going to theaters only first. So. From the creators of Sinister and Doctor Strange, I guess. Or was that is that what it says? The director, yeah.
It's Scott Derrickson and I can't remember the name of the writer right now. I apologize. Anyways, this movie was I was hyped for this. It was originally supposed to come out in February, I think, and then it got pushed back because things were still kind of slowly opening up. So I am hyped for this movie. I really want to see it. If you haven't seen any of the trailers, I recommend you do so. But John, this is not something I'm going to go check out this weekend. To be honest with you, again, I've got some free time coming up in the next couple of weeks. So this is definitely a flying solo movie. Nobody in my family has any interest in this, so I'm going to head to the theater one evening when I have no wife and kids around and just go and check this out. And I'm pretty hyped to go watch it
and scare the crap out of yourself. All right,
right, and then come home to an empty house.
Really late at night. All right, and then straight to streaming. I believe we do have a man from Toronto. How do they say Toronto?
No, that's wait, what?
In the trailer, they say it kind of funny. Everyone's like,
no, they don't. They say Toronto. Toronto. They don't say Toronto. They say Toronto. They enunciate the T. The T is silent, man. It's Toronto. That's what it is. It's not Toronto. It's Toronto. But they keep saying, I'm the man from Toronto.
Yeah.
So now Kevin Hart was supposed to originally drop in theaters in August, and then for whatever reason, Sony decided, hey, let's give it to Netflix, and so yeah, Kevin Hart, Woody Harrelson. It's kind of an action comedy. As you can see in the tagline, for those who are listening, it's called Hitman Meets Dead Man. It's too bad that this didn't get to theater. Listen, man, I'm not saying there's a conspiracy theory, John, but between this and what was the Pixar one, Turning Red, also prominently placed within Toronto and not appearing in theaters. I'm telling you, there's something going on here, John. Me knows is telling me that the tomfoolery. But listen, it comes out on Netflix this weekend, and I'm going to give it a go. I'll probably watch it. What about you?
I'm a big Kevin Hart fan. I like that when he just does his thing. You know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But I have seen him in a bunch of other types of roles. But this is where he excels. And then you team him up with a character like Woody Harrelson. Right. You can't go wrong. So 100% going to watch this. Are you going to admit to everybody what you admitted to me before we started the show, that you didn't know that you thought that was Jason Statham? For some reason, for a second there, his look very Jason Statham like.
Yes, any man who is without hair who is Caucasian must be Jason Statham. Yes,
well, he has a gravelly voice too. Anyways, also dropping on streaming is Uncharted. We did a full out review for this a while back, or did this already drop? Am I mistaken here, Rob, or is it?
I don't think it comes out. I think it's in mid-July. It hits Netflix in Canada. I want to say July 15th-ish or so. I could be wrong, but I feel like Uncharted is just it's into July is when it actually hits streaming in Canada.
I think you can rent it now. I think I saw.
You can rent it. Yes, it is available for rent. It's been available on your video on demand services for the last 3 weeks, maybe 4. to rent. So you can get it from your Apple iTunes or your Google Play or
Yeah,
wherever you want to.
I saw it pop up in my advertising for some reason, so I just decided to add it to the list. I think wait for it to be free on whatever service you're already subscribed to.
Yeah, it comes out on Netflix. I think it's middle of July, so definitely would wait to check that out. I mean, if you haven't rented it yet, then just wait a couple weeks. But you know what? I think, listen, man, I think people will enjoy it at home from the comfort of their couches.
Yeah, they're one of those chill at home type video movies.
Yeah.
So thank you everybody for sticking with us here for our fill-in episode of Heroes World podcast. We shall return very soon with Thor. Probably Love and Thunder would be my next guest at our next big thing. Where we
no, because that opens up next weekend, so we'll definitely come back with a podcast prior to that, John.
Okay. On the horizon. Anyways, I don't know dates for anything.
This guy has no idea. Yeah. There's an invention that was created. I feel like it was by the Mayans. Is it called a calendar? I don't remember. Anyways, I don't know.
Shut up. First of all, yeah, Sidekick Show. We are live every Monday.
On fire. That burn was so good.
8:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be talking about Bill and Ted Face the Music this coming week, as well as many other things. Current news, events, new things at the shop. I think Rob froze or I froze. I don't know what's going on anymore. But if you're not following Heroes World on the social medias, on Instagram and Facebook, check us out there. And then you can also listen to us on the audio Heroes World podcast on Spotify and iTunes. Thank you for tuning in, folks, and we will see you on the next one. Peace out. Rob says bye. I don't know if he's still there or not. Maybe he's talking and I'm not talking.